I'll never forget when I found myself in a famine season. It was about 3 or 4 years ago, and I had gone to all these schools. I said, Lord, I have a master's in English and have a master's in divinity, and I have a master's in this, and started a PhD program, still broke. So y'all not really listening to me. Y'all not. All these degrees, but my bank account don't look like all these degrees, but where the money at? Can I be honest with y'all? So I'm sitting there like, Lord, make a way. And I'm like, Lord, make a way. He said, work what I gave you. I said, Lord, make a way. He said, work what I gave you. I said, Lord, you make a way. He said, I am if you work what I gave you. So I'm sitting there, Courtney, in August. You know, for all teachers, August is a tight month. So I'm like, Lord, I just need about $2,000. That's the truth. I told him, I said, I need about $2,000, and then I can get through the month. If you could just bless me with that, I'll be okay. The next day I said, well, I have this production company. I put together plays. Lord, can you just open up a door for me to do a play at a theater? And this woman's name dropped in my heart. Her name was Tawn. I never forget it. She worked at Bloomfield College. Hadn't called Tawn in 7 years, and I called her that day nervous because I hadn't spoken to her for many years. She answered the phone, and she said, I said, hello. She said, oh my gosh. I said, praise the Lord. How are you? She said, oh my gosh. I said, hi, are you okay? She said, is this Shaun? I said, yes. She said, oh my. I said, all right, we got through that. What's going on? She says, this is unbelievable. I was like, what is unbelievable? She said, I'm sitting in the office of my English department supervisor, and she just asked me if I knew somebody who needed an extra $2,000. She said, see, some of y'all looking for $20,000, some of y'all looking for $200,000, but if I need $20 and God gives me what I asked for, I give him a praise like it's $2 million. She says, do you know anybody who needs an extra $2,000? She said, what are the qualifications? She said, I'm looking preferably for somebody who has a master's in English. She said, I don't know anybody. She said, I'm looking preferably for somebody who's African American. She said, I know this might be strange, but we have a lot of underprivileged youth and a lot of males. So if you know an English major who has a master's in English, who's an African American male, if you know anybody, who needs that? Who needs an extra $2,000? Tawn said, I don't know anybody, but I'm gonna go home and pray on it. She said, and I'll tell you in the morning. The second she said, pray on it, I called her phone. I want to prophesy to you that God is using things that don't even make sense. Where you live, where you work, God is gonna bless you without your permission. That the next door that you're gonna go through, you're gonna go through it and don't even have to knock on the door. Everybody stand. She said, I don't know anybody. I called her phone at that same time. When you get those urges and those hunches from God, do what God says. Percy, I'll never forget it. That's why I got overwhelmed. I was shaking and trembling. She said, it's only a 3-week position, but it pays $2,000. When I heard that amount, I knew it was God. See, some of us miss our blessing because we're too bougie. And we think that we deserve more than what we deserve. But when you hear God, accept what God gives you. So the truth is, they told me it was only a 3-week venture. I taught those class people like I was in Princeton University. I taught them like they were the smartest black boys and girls that I ever saw in my life. I taught them vocabulary words like insidious and precipitous. I taught them ostentatious and garrulous. See, you better know that God is looking at your valley to see whether he can trust you in the mountain. I taught them everything that I know. And 3 weeks later, they said, we have a permanent position. That pays 5 times more than what we about to pay you now. Somebody open your mouth and shout unto God.